That was a bit more than 2 minutes, I'm sorry. But I hope you guys got to interact a bit. Who we have here next is Cairo. Cairo agreed to come on board pretty recently. I actually approached him not too long ago. Cairo has been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and as a result of that, he has also had hearing loss. But he reads lips. So if you're wondering how he was able to stay through the session,
yeah, I can understand.
okay. He's pretty spot on actually, so I was very impressed. Yeah? So he reads lips. So if you have questions, I think what you can do is just raise your hand so he can direct your attention, and then you just speak to them. Yeah? I'm going to leave Carol to share his story. But I think what is most fascinated by is that I approached him because I read of his story in the new paper. And I don't know whether you guys have come across this. TNP did an interview on him, and I came across that, and I read. And this is a story of a person, 22 years old, beginning his life, and he's come across this little challenge, and he's taking it on heads on, right? If you talk to this guy, I've had a little chat with him on Facebook. I went through his Facebook profile, so I stalked him a bit actually, like I always stalk my speakers, okay? And what I realized is this guy is so positive. He's continuing doing what he does. He has a strong passion in arts and literature. He's pursuing that. He's continuing on that. His friends are forming a really good support network for him. Making sure there's normalcy. He goes for chemo, right? His sibling, his mother falls asleep, and he's taking a selfie over there, right? To me, that's like one of the most amazing things I've seen, right? So I thought he's going to be a perfect speaker for this evening to talk about adversities and how do you face them, how do you overcome them, right? So, Cairo, guys.
First and foremost, hello guys, nice to meet you. I would like to say thank you to Rahul for actually allowing me to share my story here with you guys. So I guess I will start with what is my passion. So I'm actually currently 23 years old this year. So my passion has always been art. Be it whether in dancing or painting, drawing, or even to like partying also. I'm a party person. So before that, since I was young, I guess like pain is not something that is something special or something new to me, because as a human being myself, since I was young, I struggled with being bullied because of the flamboyant person I am, and also because I was also a plus size person. So as a young child last time, I used to get teased by some of my friends, and also get bullied by using physical abuse and everything. So I guess like when I finished my secondary school life, which is after my O-levels, that's when I just tell myself, okay, you know what, just be myself. So at that point of time, it was a very easy decision for me to actually switch myself to finally become true to myself. But the most difficult was having the response of my family and my friends, like how would they react to how I have become now and compared to back then. Because like when I was in my primary school and secondary school, I already know about myself and my condition, and it's not that I never questioned myself about how I want to attract or love someone. I just feel that it's something that is natural for me to have an attraction for the same sex. So but that was not my problem. My problem was how do I let my family know? And I guess like after my O-levels, when I was waiting for my enrollment in NAFA, I was actually trying to somehow give suggestiveness of my appearance and how I dress up towards my parents. So I guess I didn't really open up to them for being the person that I am, but I guess they just somehow parents can tell how their sons or daughter are. It wasn't a really positive response that I get from my family because of the way I am, as in like coming from a background from a Muslim person. So it's really very hard for me. So I guess like around somewhere 2014, last 2 years ago, I was actually enrolled in my national service after I've done my diploma in fine arts in Nepal. So after that, it was about June last year where I started developing this hearing sounds in my brain. I thought it was tinnitus. It's like something ringing in the brain constantly and somehow irritates you sometimes. So from then on, it became into headache, a series of headache. So I actually went to the hospital for almost 7 times. Throughout the A&E session, the doctor only actually diagnosed me as severe migraine. So throughout that 7 times consecutively going through the same process and waiting for my result to know what I'm diagnosed with, the result was stable. It was always severe migraine, severe migraine, severe migraine. So they didn't actually did CT scan and MRI scan on me. So what was I feeling at the point of time was that like I thought that I assumed that I have a tumor in my brain. So it was suspected that I was already accepting of the condition that I'm having, which is the tumor in my brain. But then when after that, I still remember my mom's birthday, which is on 22nd August. She promised me that after today, if it gets worsened, if the condition gets worsened, she would bring me to a second option of hospital. So the very next day, we actually went to Singapore General Hospital to get myself hospitalized. So after that, when I was hospitalized, they actually checked through they did a CT scan and MRI scan on me, and 7 doctors actually approached me. So at that point of time, when I was already hospitalized, I was unable to hear already. So both of my ears shut down on me, and my vision was actually double. So I wasn't able to walk properly. So because on the day of my mom's birthday, I still remember that I was crawling all the way. I couldn't eat. Whatever I eat, I vomit out, and I also developed blood stools. So I do not know, my mom and me did not know that it was something serious in the stomach area, because we thought that it may be because of overconsumption of medication, then maybe the body have a heat reaction to it, but it wasn't. So what happened was in SGH, after they did CT scan and MRI scan, they actually also did a scoping for me. So they found out that there's actually not only tumor in my brain, but also in my colonal area. So we thought that it was just the tumor in the brain that causes all this havoc to me. But then because of the scoping, we actually got to realize that there's another tumor in my colonal area. So that was actually unexpected, because throughout these times when I was feeling sick from the hearing till then, at the point of time, I wasn't actually able to feel any pain in the stomach area. It was just the blood stool that is keep producing out. So I'm not so sure why, but we just assumed that it was just because of the medication. But after the scoping, they actually told me that I have cancer, colonal cancer. But then my mom didn't want to tell me the very first time on what stage I was at, because I think like she didn't want to dampen my spirit at that point of time. So because of that, I was actually unsure of what stage I was in. So after that, when I went through 1 month in hospital stay, I did 4 lama punch, and also after doing 4 lama punch, I also had to do an operation where they insert a tube from my backbone to the stomach. So the reason why I was having a very bad headache and migraine and vomiting out all this because of there's too much water pressure in my brain. So that's why they had to do 4 times of lama punch. But after that 4 times of lama punch, they still said that there's still a lot of water in the brain. So they actually had to do the operation. So basically after that operation, I've stopped vomiting, I've stopped from headache, and my hearing was still 0. So I couldn't communicate well. So during the stay in the hospital, like my mom actually bought me a whiteboard, a very simple whiteboard, so that those people who come and visit me or those who want to interact with me can actually write down. So I guess at that point of time was the most terrifying period of time for me because as a person, I love to do art, and also I love to hear music when I do art. So be it whether instrumental or vocal songs or just basically the winds of the song in the world. So like I feel that like when I lost that sense of hearing, it felt more monstrous than the cancer itself, because like I was worried on how I'm able to, or how I'm going to go through the world with no sound. So I just felt that like at that point of time it was just very scary for me. I feel that it's even more terrifying for me than cancer. So like at that point of time it was just I just told myself that I remember that I told myself that I do not want to be alone at all time, because I feel scared because I can't even hear anyone's voice, and on top of that, because of my visual that is still recovering slowly, I couldn't really see my mom's face or anyone's face who is actually visiting me. It was quite dim, and I couldn't really see so much. So after that 1 month, I still remember the day of Hari Raya Haji. It was 23rd September, if I'm not wrong. The doctor came to me. The doctor told me that, do you wanna go on a home break for a while, since you're here for about a month? So when she told me that news, I still remember I was just crying my life out, because I feel like finally because it's been 1 month that I've seen my bed, I've seen my room, I've seen my home space where I always spend most of my time. So like when she told me that I was able to be given to allow to go home for a moment, I felt very, very happy, and it was the best day of my life, I felt. But the news after that, as in the next sentence that she told me was that, so basically today you are allowed to go home, but then tomorrow you're allowed to go home forever. So I was like even more happy, because like finally, like after 1 month of staying in the hospital, I'm finally getting home. So that was a very big sign of change for me at that point of time. So I was very, very happy. Then after that, I still remember it was during December when after a few chemotherapy session, my mom actually told me that, or she actually briefly talked to me. She said that, oh, actually you are having cancer stage 4. Then I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't at the point of time, I wasn't feeling shocked or surprised. I was more like stagnant, because I do not know how to react to her response on my diagnosis. So then she also even told me that actually doctor gave you 2 months to live only. So I was like, it was already overdue 2 months. So I was very happy. I told my mom that it's already over 2 months already, so don't worry about it. So she was like crying and stuff like that. So after that, I was just going through my second CT and MRI scan. So the doctor mentioned that there's a slight improvement of my tumors, and they have actually decreased slowly. So I was also happy about the result. So basically, as you guys hear, actually it's all about happy, happy, happy. So when I got this cancer stage 4, I mean, cancer is one of the most fearful and scariest disease. I feel that to myself. I feel that if I get cancer one day, I will just I feel that I just want to give up everything. But then I don't know. Somehow he showered me with this disease, which I'm most afraid of, and I think that I guess like now it feels like a blessing in disguise. So through this process of recovery, I discovered a lot of my friends left me because I somehow see the true colors of them, and also I also see a lot of strangers who, like the nurses and the helpers in the hospital. I cannot thank them enough because they really take care of me like a family, even though we are just strangers, even though it's their job and responsibility, but like somehow you can sense when someone is sincere doing things with you. So I feel that compassion with them, and I just feel grateful for whatever that they have done throughout my 1 month stay. I could not forget, and also I could not forget the uncles who actually had cancer also as well, because I was in the cancer ward. So the uncles who stayed with me, and then they actually even wrote on the whiteboard to actually talk to me and ask me how am I doing and everything. And then to see them just left me the very next day after a conversation that was started last night only. Like to see how life just goes away just like that. It's very sad, and I guess like they did not show that they are unhappy about their condition. They were really hyper, really active, really happy, and always like make jokes with each other, having conversation. So for me to experience like a sudden death of a person who is so positive, and somehow like as if they have accepted their fate to actually die anytime, I feel that it gives me a lot of will and strength, and also a hero in my eyes. I feel they are all like heroes in my eyes, and it helped me so much with what I'm going through right now. And with all these stories of people who are going through similar pain, I feel even more braver, because like I feel that I'm not going through this alone. Even though this disease is meant for an individual, it feels like as if like we all have the same pain, but we all share somehow or somewhat or other. So like when I started hearing back slowly during the month of February this year, I was very, very appreciative and happy about it, because like I never thought that I would listen, or I could listen back to this world again. So like right now I can actually hear, like if you guys are talking to me in this room, I can actually hear your vibrations and your sound. But when there's so many people talking at one time, I couldn't actually get what you guys are trying to say. So other than that, I guess like the struggles that I went through as a cancer patient, I feel that it's not something new for me, because like as a human being, I've struggled based on my sexuality, and also based on my own human rights. And as a person also, I love to do, I'm a human rights activist, so I stand for human equality as an individual. I believe in every differences in everyone's, because we all come from different places and we all have different intentions in this earth. So I feel that it's only right that we shouldn't judge each other based on our sexuality, looks, and also the condition that we are going through. So what keeps me going, because aside from the stories I've heard or the uncles that I met in the hospital, the things that keep me going because, is the people who actually went through even a more bitter or even more painful process of being handicapped or being sick. Like for example, like you're born with disability. How can they live and smile every single day, knowing that they are not normal, but still living each day as if it's just like that purity, happiness of them somehow makes me feel like I shouldn't be selfish in a way whereby, you know, I should just think about myself, on which like it's like as if like I'm the only one that is going through this pain. I feel that like all of them who have other problems also in this world, like being poor, because I like to watch I specifically like to watch this documentary. You actually can source it on YouTube. It's called Human. So it's a 6-hour variations of different people's life and story and how they go through their life with different struggles. I guess that particular documentation of the whole spectrum of the way human behaves and interact and how they go through in different lives and different worlds, I feel that it has helped me open up my spectrum of human perspective. So I guess like I couldn't cry anymore now because I feel that I've passed the pain that I'm going through right now. I feel that right now it's time for me to have a voice and